Hi everyone, this is Menz here, playing the Tier 8 United States Navy destroyer, the Benson, here on Land of Fire. Now, team-wise, we have a slight advantage with destroyers. They have a slight advantage with cruisers. And then CVs were about tied, and as well as battleships were a little bit tied as well. Now, seeing as there's 4 destroyers and a lot of cruisers on the enemy team, I don't exactly want to get caught in this area. Usually I find if we have a slight advantage in our favor as far as destroyers or cruisers, I head that way. But really in this situation, I'm not going to push too hard for C. I'm probably just going to end up heading this way, maybe chucking a couple torpedoes off there, but I don't think I'm going to be reloaded in time before then. So I'm probably going to push up on this side of B and either go for B or try to poke it C and get a little bit of a cheap shot in there. The Benson, though, it's a pretty well-rounded destroyer, which is kind of the trait for U.S. destroyers. Torpedo-wise, you have a very good torpedo spread. You lose one launcher coming from the Mahan, but you gain more torpedo tubes per launcher, and both are universal as far as which side you can shoot them off. Whereas the Mahan only had one that could fire on both sides and then one mounted on each side of the hull, giving it a total of 3. Now, torpedo-wise, 9.2 kilometers, pretty decent damage once you get them upgraded. The reload is a lot longer than previous U.S. Navy destroyers, but the added damage and range combination isn't as good as Japanese torpedoes by any extent, but it's still pretty good, and you still retain the decent guns that U.S. destroyers have, but unfortunately they don't work well at long distances. Russian destroyers are still gonna outgun you, but your turret traverse is a little bit better, and close up weaving left and right, you're gonna be able to, here we go, just fire down a little bit of these planes here. It is a kind of a probability whether each shot will take down a plane, which is why I will turn it on. I didn't have to turn it on there, I could have kind of ran away, but just trying to help out my carrier a little bit here and potentially take down a couple of their fighters. Granted, I'd much rather take out this dive bomber, or I'm gonna go for a torpedo bomber here. Shit, they spotted another plane here, but still, I find trying to help out my team as much as possible with AA, even though it's not exactly the destroyer's job, it still can be a huge benefit to your team, whereas other destroyers might just essentially be like, I'm a destroyer, I'm going to leave it off and try to stay hidden as much as possible. Which is all well and fine and dandy, but still, your team's going to be taking a lot more damage than they probably should. Which, kind of wish I had the perk right now to boost AA defense, but would have got the fighters out because they're just kind of parking over us being annoying. I just don't want to push too far, and then the planes eventually coming back to get me here. Which is exactly what they're doing. Alright, so let's just try to see if we get lucky here. hurt more than a little bit. Don't want to go down south though. A lot of enemies over there. Fortunately for me, I can take him out with my guns with the other Benson. Although we're hitting each other. There we go, a little bit of a misstep. But hopefully he's able to dodge too. It does look like he's going to be able to. By 30 seconds, I might be able to get a good bearing on this Cleveland down here. Definitely a little bit of concern. I'm going to have to definitely start turning hard right here. So he's going to spot me, and then he's going to turn. It's just whether he's going to turn into me, which I think he is. So I'm going to fire one off there, one off the other direction. Just kind of cover my bases. If he turns into me, he can potentially get hit. But it's definitely not in my best interest to stick around here. Fortunately for me, I got the Cleveland. Excuse me there. Had a little phone call there for a second. Definitely great I got the Cleveland. I almost thought I was going to get the other cruiser down there, but he was a little bit fortunate to escape that. Should have fired it a little bit differently, but still, I'll take what I got. That Cleveland, I don't know why he did not turn. Very perplexing, but hell, I'm not complaining too much. I got a really damn good hit on him. All the while fielding the phone call, so it's always nice when that works out. A little bit easier in World of Tanks, or I mean World of Warships to do that than World of Tanks. Just holding my shot here. I can get a little bit closer without being spotted. I'm gonna hope that guy stays on his current path. Never mind, he's taking a hard turn towards me. So I'm gonna try to catch him over here. Of course he's gonna spot me. I'm gonna hope he continues to turn that way, which he is. That's very good for me. So I'm actually going to peel off because his guns are coming back my way. Not that there's much HP left on him, so if he doesn't die by me or the dive bombers, I have a feeling my torpedoes are going to meet up with him. Whew. That guy got obliterated, but he really was pushing the envelope a little bit too far. But all in all, a decent match. Did a little bit better than I thought after I was face-to-face with a Cleveland and another cruiser I thought I was going for, but not too shabby. 6,000 experience, but that was because of missions and XP flag. But 4 torpedo hits, shot down 5 planes. Wasn't going in expecting to shoot down any, but any little bit helps your team. Essentially taking out a dive bomber or a torpedo bomber saves your team anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 damage and HP. But all in all, decent showing here. Second place as far as experience go. That other Benson did a very good job as well as that North Carolina. Damage-wise, a little bit on the lower end. Almost all of it came from my torpedoes here, but still not that bad of a match considering it did go pretty quickly. The enemy team, by pushing C, they really kind of shot themselves in the foot because they didn't push anywhere else on the map, and it kind of led them to lose a lot of the map, and they weren't able to regain any of it just with the placement of islands on Land of Fire. It's hard once you lose an area to get it back. But all in all, almost 50,000 damage, ended up doing 49,459. Not too bad, given destroyers are really hit or miss. Took a couple hits from AP and HE, but all in all, really good match. So, in any event, thanks for watching this Benson video here. Feel free to subscribe here on YouTube. You can also support me through fan funding in the upper right-hand corner through a Google Wallet or in the description below through PayPal. Otherwise, feel free to check out my websites, menzgaming.com/World of Warships and also wotguru.com for World of Tanks. Thanks again for watching.